Hey, what's going on everybody? Steve here. In this video, I'm gonna share the top 7 ways I use the software Keepa in my Amazon business. Now I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of softwares that I use in my business, but not all of them are as important as Keepa. I'll tell you right now, if you're just getting started selling on Amazon, or even if you're a seasoned pro, Keepa, the Keepa Chrome extension, which I'm gonna talk about today, is super powerful. And it can literally make you or break you when you're selling on Amazon. So in this video, I wanna break down the 7 ways that I use Keepa in my business. I'm gonna share, real life examples of how I'm using it, how it's benefiting me, how it's helping me to make more money. And I'm gonna share some pretty unique ways that you might not know about in terms of using Keepa to be able to steal products from your competitors, find new niches, find new products that you can flip for a big profit. So with that being said, let's get right into today's video. All right, now one thing I want to mention before we get into my screen and I share with you these real life examples is there's 2 plans with Keepa. There's a free plan and then there's a paid plan. The paid plan is $20 a month. I pay for the $20 a month plan because it opens up and unlocks a few various features that I believe are very powerful. So I would definitely recommend start with the free plan, but if you want to see some of the more advanced things that I'm going to share in this video, you're going to have to get the $20 a month plan. So we're looking at a product right here called Zumba Fitness. This is a 7-set DVD. And when you download Keepa, it's gonna come up as a Chrome extension on your computer. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna see this area pop up on the sales page, okay? So this is what Keepa does. It will literally pop up on the actual product page and it'll give you a whole bunch of information. Now, the first thing that I wanna talk about is this tab right here called Data. Now, when you click into that, you're gonna see product details, offers, buy box statistics, and then used buy box statistics, okay? Buy box statistics is for the new products and then used is for the used products, of course. So I'm gonna click into buy box statistics and right here you'll be able to see what percentage of the buy box is going to what seller. So this is really cool right here. You see Billy Budd's bookstore over the last 30 days, and you can change the date range. Billy Budd's won the buy box 52% of the time for an average price of $61.81. So after Billy Budd's, you've got this other person right here who won it for $66.25, 31% of the time, and then 17%. You could change it up for different date ranges so you can see what percentage of the buy box is rotating amongst the various sellers. Now, the thing that makes this very important is when you purchase a product, sometimes certain sellers are gonna dominate the buy box, right? And if you get onto a listing that maybe only sells 10 times a month, but one seller is maybe winning the buy box 90% of the time, that means throughout the month, you might only have one opportunity out of 10 to be able to win it if that buy box isn't rotating. So before you purchase an item, especially if you're doing eBay to Amazon flips or retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and you're spending a good amount of money on your products and your cost of goods is high, you want to make sure to go into the buy box statistics to see if it's rotating equally. And this is rotating, it's not perfectly equally at 52%, 31%, 17%, but it's pretty close. And if you open that up over 90 days, 180 days, you can see it rotates, pretty evenly. Of course, there's a few people that are dominating it, maybe because they have more products in stock, but this is very, very powerful. And if you also look under FBA right here, if you see a check mark, that means that the buy box is being won by an FBA seller. So this is extremely powerful. If you're gonna be purchasing an item where maybe your margins are only 30, 40%, 50%, you always wanna go into data, buy box statistics for new or the used right here to take a look and see if it's rotating equally, because sometimes Amazon will be on the listing and they'll be taking the buy box 90, 95% of the time, or maybe another seller will be taking it 90, 95% of the time. And if it's not as popular and it's not selling a ton, it just might be risky and you might just sit on that item forever. So you definitely want to utilize the buy box statistics area inside of Keepa to make better buying decisions. Now, number 2, I want to talk about Keepa Product Finder. Now, this is something that people are going to probably say to me behind the scenes, Steve, you shouldn't share that. That's my little secret sauce, but I'm going to give it to you guys right now. So if you go into Keepa Data, Buy Box Statistics, do you see how you can see all the different sellers on the listing? Well, check this out. This is really cool. You can actually click on the seller's name. So we have VV and J, who is an FBA seller. And you can see that they won the buy box 17% of the time in the last month for $77.43. Well, what if there was a way that you can find out all the items they're selling, download it into a CSV file, and literally storefront stalk them. This is literally like storefront stalking on steroids. So what you're gonna do is you can go to the name right here under Keepa. We're gonna click into the seller's store right here, and this is super powerful, okay? So as this loads up right now, you're gonna be able to actually go into the storefront, and what you could do is you could literally just take all their products, click export right here, and you could have all their products and information in a CSV file, so you can literally reverse source it. Or what you can do is click seller metrics right here, okay? And you could go into a specific category, maybe movie and TV right here. And what you can do is you can hit advanced filter, and you can literally use Keepa product finder to filter all of their items within the DVD category. Maybe I only want to see items that have a 60,000 rank, okay? Maybe a 10,000 to 60,000 rank, which is 32 products. And I could click find products, and I could actually narrow this down a ton based on price and condition. Check out all these different things that I can narrow down. And I could click find products in the bottom right-hand corner, which is covered up a little bit. And now Keepa Product Finder has narrowed down a specific search within their store that I could then go and reverse source, maybe on eBay to flip on Amazon. I can do reverse searches. I could use tactical arbitrage. There's a ton of different things I could do with this information. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you're struggling to find products to flip, use Keepa Product Finder to narrow down specific products in your competitors' stores to flip for huge profits. This is a little secret sauce that, you know, I typically only share within my programs, but I want to share a little bit about how to use this and whatnot and how it could benefit you. So leave a comment down below and let me know if that helped, and definitely go out and try it yourself. All right, the third way that you can utilize Keepa, and this is very powerful, is you can actually go down. There's three little boxes here, but you can go down to the bottom right here and you can click new offers and used offers. And essentially what this will share with you, I'm gonna unclick used, is you see this blue line going up and down and the numbers going 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going up and down, up and what is that? That is the offer count for new. Now I could also do the same thing for used. So what do you notice here on this listing? Again, this is the Zumba DVD set. You can see that the used offer count is going down. Now the new offer count is pretty steady. And why is this important? Why is it important to know the history of the offer count? Because there's a strong correlation between offer count and the price, right? It's supply and demand. If the offer count is going up, which means there's more sellers, what do you think is gonna happen? Typically the price is gonna go down. Now, if the seller count is going down, maybe there was 10 used sellers and now there's only 1 or 2, the price is probably gonna go up. It's supply and demand. And you can actually use these various graphs. I'm not gonna go into tons of depth right now in this video, but you can see right here, I'm gonna pull everything off of this top chart. This is the lowest used price. Look at the used price, how it dropped down to 3, 4, and this is the used price. It doesn't include shipping, but you can see how the price literally like 5x'd. Why? Because the number of sellers has gone down, okay? So this is a very powerful feature of Keepa, and you can actually use Keepa and go into data right here, product details, and you can actually take a look under current and averages to get some of this data as well in like in a nicer format. Right here you can see the new offer count over 30, 90, 180 days. You can see the offer count current, 30, 90, 180 days. But this is very powerful. Now if you're thrifting and you're going to flea markets and auctions, you're buying stuff super cheap, you're probably not going to be using some of these features of Keepa just because maybe you're using Scout IQ or Scoutly and your cost of goods is so low that it's not as important. But when you're doing eBay to Amazon or traditional online arbitrage or especially wholesale, you're 100% going to want to use this feature right here, looking at the offer count and Keepa Product Finder. So with that being said, let's get into the fourth way that you can use and benefit from Keepa. All right, so we're back on our good old sales page on Amazon of Zumba Fitness right here. Now, if you look at this top box area, you're gonna see a lot of stuff going on, and I can make this look really busy. For some folks who are new to Keepa, you're probably like, what is going on? Why is there so much stuff on, on this area? Like, I don't understand it. Well, essentially, each one of these things that I'm clicking is a different data point, okay? Now, right now it's blank because there's nothing on it. But if I did click right here, sales rank, what is this? So every time you see this green line going down, that's a sale, okay? So the reason this is powerful, and you could actually change this based on a year, 3 months, a month, 3 weeks, but I'll put this over a 3-month period. So what this sales rank button does, it's a green button with green lines and stuff, is it's tracking sales. So every time you see, like right here, December 1st, it sold, and then it didn't sell, it didn't sell, it didn't sell, boom, it sold, it didn't sell, sold, it didn't sell, sold. So this can help you when you're analyzing deals to see how many times it's sold. Now, I use some different, tools as well. I actually use SellerAmp, which is really powerful, which is loading up, which will tell me right on the screen, 5 sales a month. Okay, so you don't have to really count. This is what I used to do. I used to count the sales, which is the little green drops, which you don't really need to do. Another thing you can do is if you look right here on Keepa, it says 5 drops per month. You can get that number as well. But if you are just looking at, a quick glance, you can see the number of drops. And if I open this up over the last week, what do you see right here? This thing hasn't sold. And look at the rank, it's going up, 90, 91, 98, 100, 102,000. Why is the rank going up? Because it's not selling. What causes the rank to go down? When an item sells. How do you know that it's sold? Because you're going to be able to see, if I open this up over 3 months, that it's going to drop off. So right here, the rank was 104,000. It sold, and it dropped down to 7,000. But then guess what? It didn't sell, and it went up to 50,000. So one of the powerful features of Keepa is to see these little price drops, which is the green, and there's a lot of stuff here. I could add the pink now, which is the buy box price. I can see it was at 62, 66, and if you see it scattered, why is it coming and going? Because the buy box is, sometimes it's suppressed, okay, and they don't give a buy box, so it's not going to be tracking it. I can see the lowest new offer between merchants and FBA. I can see the buy box used price, the overall used price, which is the lowest overall used price, used like new. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but this is why Keepa is so powerful. Again, I'm typically not counting the drops, and a lot of times I will use SellerAmp, which we have a video coming up after this, which is going to talk about all the ways that I use SellerAmp. But this is a very powerful feature of Keepa to be able to track how often the item is selling by looking at the chart, looking at the green lines, looking at the drop-offs. And again, if you're thrifting, you don't really need to do this because you're going to be using maybe Scout IQ or Scoutly, which is going to have the e-score, and it's going to tell you maybe how many drops there were in a 6-month period, which is fantastic historical data. But I just want to share this feature for the folks who are new. This is extremely powerful, very important, and this is one of the main reasons why you don't want to just trust the sales rank, because sales rank might look good, but maybe it hasn't sold in like a month or two, whereas if you look at Keepa, you can actually see real life historical data of how often it's selling, when's the last time it sold, and for how much. Number 5, the 5th way that I use Keepa, and this is very powerful, especially if you're doing eBay to Amazon, if you're doing online arbitrage, wholesale, is you want to know if Amazon has a history of being on this listing, okay? Now, this is somewhat of a bad example, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find, I'm on Flipmine right now, which is a software that I use to source from eBay to Amazon. I'm going to find another product, and I want to see if I can share with you a better example of how you can tell using Keepa if Amazon's been on the listing before, okay? Now, in this example, you see how there's no Amazon tab? Well, because there's no history of Amazon ever being on this listing. There's not even a button here. But if I switch over to this other product, which is actually selling for $99, which we could actually buy for $55 right now and possibly make around $23. I'd have to analyze it more. This seems a little overly inflated because I have sold this in the past. But regardless, you can see there's 10 sales a month, 368,000 rank. But what if you wanted to know, has Amazon ever been on the listing? And you might be thinking, Steve, why does it matter if Amazon's been on the listing? Well, the reason it's important is because Amazon, obviously Amazon is Amazon, right? They're going to give themselves the buy box more. They're going to steal a lot of sales. Typically they don't rotate the buy box as much. There are exceptions to the rule. There are listings where Amazon plays nice, but then there's, mean Amazon and they steal the buy box all the time. So, before you get into a product, if Amazon's on the listing, you want to know, are they sharing the buy box? Are they on the listing? When's the last time they've been on the listing? Are they coming on the listing often? Well, this orange button, I'm going to take all the buttons off and I'm going to click this. So you can see over the last year, there's no orange. But if I open this up over the last 3,559 days, which is how old this listing is, you can see Amazon was on the listing back in 2015 and 2016. Now, in my eBay to Amazon flipping business, we're mostly focused on items like this that are discontinued, vintage. I don't think this is considered vintage, but it's discontinued. It's not manufactured anymore. You're not going to find this at Walmart and Target. So how are people going to buy it? They're going to come on to, Amazon and find it, or eBay, so on and so forth. So, I can see that Amazon came off the listing in 2016. Now, if they were on the listing right now, you would see this orange line right here going all the way across. Obviously, it's not here right now, but you can see the price, and you can actually go into data, buy box statistics, and you can see if Amazon was stealing the buy box, or if they weren't playing nice, or if they were sharing it. Obviously, they're not on the listing right now, but you can see all the sellers over the last year who've been on this listing, a lot of FBA sellers. You can see what they've been winning the buy box for, so on and so forth. I know we already covered that, but I just wanted to share, before you get onto a listing, if Amazon's on the listing, you always, every single time, or you're gonna lose money, I can almost promise you that, you wanna check to see if they're sharing the buy box. Now, a lot of times they're gonna take 85, 90% of the buy box, which actually is fine. I've got a video that I posted on my channel, and I'll link it up down below. It's a video that talks about, should you compete with Amazon? And I talk about the pros and cons. If they're sharing the buy box only 5 to 10%, but if it's selling like 100, 200, 300 times a month, you could still jump on the listing if you have a few, but obviously you're not gonna wanna buy like 50 or 100 of them if they're taking the buy box 95% of the time and it's only selling like 30, 40 times a month. It's just gonna take forever for you to sell out of your stock. But I digress. I just want to share some of the basics of how you can see if Amazon's on the listing. Again, you can go into the price history and you can check under Amazon, and then of course go into data, buy box statistics to see if they're playing nice. So with that being said, let's get into the next feature of Keepa that I use to help me make good buying decisions on Amazon. All right, so number 6 is a feature I don't use all the time. I don't do a lot of flipping items from Amazon to Amazon specifically. If you want to learn how to flip items from Amazon to Amazon, definitely go check out my friend Joji Davenport's YouTube channel. He made over $100,000 profit last year, literally buying books and various items on Amazon and flipping it back on Amazon. Now, there's certain rules to do this. You have to, buy from a merchant. You can't use your FBA account. There's different nuances and whatnot, so definitely check out his channel. He does have a masterclass as well that I'd highly recommend. It's Joji Davenport's Amazon to Amazon Masterclass, so I'll put a picture of that here. I'll put a little link down below if you want to check that out. But I know one of the features that Joji utilizes is this track product feature. So if you take a look right here and you click track product, the cool thing with this is you can actually track products on Amazon, and you can get email alerts and various alerts. Again, I'm not an expert with this, but I know some of the basics, and I do have some alerts set up. Say, for example, I wanted to be alerted if this item came on Amazon for maybe 20 bucks or so, okay? So I could put that in there. I could also put if Amazon's on the listing for less than the new price, the used price, and you can click Start Tracking. Now, this is gonna track this specific listing on Amazon, and guess what? If this item comes at 20 bucks or whatever you put for an alert, it'll email you. So either yourself or a virtual assistant could have access to the email, check it every day. I used to actually do this back in the day when I was really big into doing a lot of textbook arbitrage, and I was using eFlip. I don't really do that too much anymore. I'm mostly eBay to Amazon, but this is a great little feature. Again, if you want to learn more about this, go check out Joji Davenport or check out his Amazon to Amazon Masterclass. But definitely a cool feature, underutilized, a great way to be able to snag deals from Amazon to flip back on Amazon for a profit. All right, now feature number 7. This is a really great feature that you can utilize if you want to get a better idea of how many items a seller has specifically been selling. Maybe you want to buy 50 or 100 items wholesale or online arbitrage, and you're like, how many items are actually selling by the various Amazon sellers, okay? Now, what you can do is you can go into data, and we're on another listing right now for some Nexium, okay? Now, what you're gonna do is go under here, all right, and you're gonna go to buy box statistics right here, okay? Actually, you're actually gonna go to offers, I'm sorry. You're gonna click data, and then you're gonna click the offers tab right here. And this is really cool. So essentially, this tab will share with you a lot of different information: the name, the price of the item, the condition, the price history. And you can actually move all this stuff around, so you can actually click on it and drag it all around. But you can actually see what their stock is, how many they've sold in the last 30 days, when they first come on the listing. You can actually see their stock history. So you can see this seller right here, EJ Sears. You can see January 1st, they had 14 in stock. Then they had 13, 12, 10. Then they went all the way down to 4. And then it looks like they re-upped their inventory up to 12 and then 10. So this is a really cool feature if you're doing, like, you know, I would say online arbitrage, or if you're doing wholesale. I don't use this a ton for eBay to Amazon, because the downside is if you're dealing with items that are only selling like 5, 6, 7 times a month, which seriously, like, I sell a lot of items that aren't very popular, but there's not a lot of people on the listing. So regardless, if you're dealing with like more popular items that have a lot of selling history, all you have to do is go into the offers tab and you can look to see how many items sellers are actually selling, which is powerful. So again, you can use Keepa to see the monthly sales or seller amp, but you can go directly in to specific sellers and see how many items they are selling. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long-winded video and there was a lot of content that I covered, but these are 7 features of Keepa that I use in my business. I don't use all of them every single day, especially the offers tab and Keepa product finder, but I do use them from time to time. So definitely utilize these. Watch this video again, smash that like button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We post videos every single week. And if you want to learn more about selling on Amazon, maybe you're brand spanking new and you're trying to figure out, like, how do I get started? Like, you know, I wish I just had help. If everybody I wish I had help and someone to just walk me through step by step by step. Check out our membership site called resellingfreedom.com. We do anywhere from 5 to 7 live coaching calls every single week. We have 10+ expert coaches, all Amazon sellers, including myself. We do live Zoom calls. We answer questions. We have a complete course. We have downloads. We have scripts. We have replays. Pretty much anything that you would want to learn and grow and continue to scale your business is inside of resellingfreedom.com. So definitely check that out. With that being said, go out there, use Keepa, make smart buying decisions, and I'll see you in the next one. Much love.